how to always have a plan in chess. Today I'm going to show you some factors, some tips that will help you find a plan in basically any position. Now we all know that in chess there are many factors, but what are the main factors that you should be careful about when choosing the plan? Now the most important factor when choosing a plan in chess is always going to be king safety. This is the most important thing, because if your king is not safe, then I don't know, you can be 5 rooks up or something and you're still going to lose because your king is going to get checkmated. As we can see in this example here, if white goes for the material with knight takes b5 after we recapture and he takes on b7, he thinks he's going to get some material here, but we can see that his king is still in the center, and if we somehow manage to attack him, the material is not going to matter, because the main goal in chess, of course, is to checkmate your opponent. So we can play knight to b4, and after he takes our rook, we go knight to d3 check. And this is actually winning for us. And it doesn't matter that we're a rook down here, white is a rook up actually. Material here, which is normally a very important thing in chess, just doesn't matter here, because the most important thing is king safety. As you can see, this rook here that we just lost really doesn't matter, because we're going to checkmate the opponent or just get some material back. Here, if he moves the king, we're just going to checkmate him. His king is really unsafe here in the center. It hasn't castled yet, so this is really bad for white. If he does anything else, you can just check him, take the pawn with a discovered check, and when he moves, we just take the queen. And now, even though his king may go to safety, now we just transferred our advantage from his king being unsafe to the material advantage. As you can see, now when he recaptures, now we have a queen against a rook and a bishop, which is of course in our advantage here. Now what is the second most important factor when deciding on a plan? Now, like I already mentioned, it's material. As you can see now, even if white gets his king to safety, he has taken care of the first factor, which is the king safety. When both of the kings are quite safe, the second factor comes in, and this is material here. As you can see, white is just losing because he's down material. He's not going to have any chance against our queen here. And we're also a pawn up. You can see that this pawn is going to be very dangerous here, a passed pawn. So material is just always a very important factor. And you'll say, okay, but usually the kings are pretty safe and the material is equal. But what should I do then? Well, let me show you one example. Now in this position, as you can see, both kings are safe. They both castled, and they have some defensive pieces around them, as you can see, and neither of the players are ready to attack the opponent's king. So the first factor is kind of even. The kings are evenly safe, we would say. The second factor, material, as you can see, if you count the pieces, it's equal. If you count the pawns here, it's also equal. White has 7 pawns, black has 7 pawns. So the second factor is also equal for both the players. But now, what to do? How to evaluate a position, how to, come up with a plan. Now here comes the third factor, which is the pawn structure. Now the pawn structure is very important because it basically tells you where you should be playing and how you should be playing. As you know from my previous videos, for example, if you have an isolated pawn that could be weak in the endgame, you don't want to exchange many minor pieces and go into the endgame because your pawn is going to be weak. You want to generate some kind of counterplay to be active, So that's how pawn structures basically tell you what you should do. And it's the same in this position. As we can see, we have this Carlsbad pawn structure. That's how it's called. And we can see, because these pawns here are pointing in this direction, we should be playing here on this side of the board, on the queen side. And white's pawns are pointing against this side of the board, against the king side, so he should be playing there. Now why is that? That's basically because we want to play against the opponent's pawn chain. Here white has the base of his pawn chain, and we want to attack the base of the pawn chain to break it and then attack these weak pawns. So before we had some dynamic play where the kings weren't so safe in the previous example, but here we come to a more positional play, because the kings are safe, material is even, so here we normally start to play for the weaknesses. So because we should be playing on this side of the board and create weaknesses on his pawn chain, this basically tells us our plan. we basically want to put one of our rooks here on b8 and just start our minority attack here with b5 and b4, trying to take the pawn here, and after he recaptures, leave him with a backwards pawn which is not defended, and then we can attack this pawn and exploit it. This is basically going to be our plan here. Now if you don't know what the minority attack is, I have made a video on it, please go check it out, it's in the top right corner. Now white's plan here, like we said, is going to be on this side of the board. Usually white wants to play something like rook to e1 and knight to e5, just put the knight on this nice square here. Sometimes white would even go for some attack with f4 and f5 and try to create some counterplay here on this side of the board. So now that we know the plans, let's throw some moves in. So white played rook to e1, and we can see rook b8. Just following our plan on, advancing these pawns to create our minority attack. So now the queen moves here to c2, and black plays his rook to c8. Now he has a threat of knight to b4 because he can't take because of the hanging queen here on the c file. And then when after knight to b4 the queen moves, we can just take the bishop and to make a favorable exchange, because as we know, bishops should be a little bit better in most positions. And this bishop, as you can see, is a really nice bishop because the pawns are on the other color. So this is our threat, that's why white has to move the queen. And okay, he took the pawn on f3 and he just started with his minority attack. Now white is of course also going to try to stop your plan, but just a5. You want to play b4, so that's your plan here basically. Like we said, this is basically your plan here. You don't want to be playing on this side of the board. Like we said, if you push any pawns here on this side of the board, you're just going to weaken your pawn structure here if you move the base of your pawn chain. And this is basically where white wants to play, so you don't want to make any weaknesses on that side of the board. You just want to crush him on the side where you're meant to play. So here, this is the queen side. Now the last factor that I want to mention today is really essential, because if you don't have it, then none of your plans are going to work basically. And this is piece activity. I mean, just imagine having your knights, I don't know, here on b8 and on a8, and just pushing your pawns here, b5, b4. It's just not going to work, because your opponent is going to defend it easily and create some counterplay with his pieces, which are going to be more active than yours. For example, knight on e5 in the center, and maybe the rook coming in. If all your pieces are passive, then you can't do anything about it. You can't follow your own plan and you can't defend against your opponent's plan. So when you're deciding on a plan, just keep in mind these important factors. King safety, it's always the priority in chess. Then you have material. If both of the kings are safe, you have to look at the material. If someone is, let's say, a pawn up, then this could be the difference between winning and drawing or losing, If the material is equal, then you have to look at the pawn structure, which basically navigates your game. It tells you where to play, how to play, and of course, very important, piece activity. Without piece activity and finding the best squares for your pieces, your plans are just not going to work. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, guys. This would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.